Sudan, a nation at war with itself in a battlefield shaped by others. Since April 2023, two rival generals have torn the country apart. Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, leading the Sudanese Armed Forces, SAF, and Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo, commanding the Rapid Support Forces, RSF. What began as a struggle for power in Khartoum has spiraled into one of the world's deadliest wars. Over 150,000 dead, 14 million displaced, and famine spreading across Darfur and Kordofan. But the front lines tell only half the story. Behind them are powerful states shaping the war from afar. The Sudanese government accuses the United Arab Emirates of backing the RSF, sending weapons, fuel, and funds through neighboring Chad and Libya. Satellite evidence and intercepted cargo flights hint at supply networks linking Gulf warehouses to RSF-held zones. The UAE denies the charges, saying it only supports humanitarian aid. But experts note that Sudan's gold, much of it smuggled from RSF territory, flows directly into Emirati markets. And across the Red Sea, Israel's involvement runs deeper than acknowledged. Tel Aviv has reportedly built covert channels with RSF commanders, sharing intelligence and offering strategic coordination against Iranian-linked movements along the Red Sea corridor. This isn't speculation, it's strategy. Israel views Sudan as a critical node in the regional chessboard, a bridge between the Horn of Africa, the Gulf, and the Sahel, where influence today means security tomorrow. Today, Sudan's war is no longer just a civil war. It's a map of intersecting ambitions, where gold routes, Red Sea ports, and foreign alliances redraw the lines of sovereignty. And while the world looks elsewhere, Sudan burns, caught between two generals and too many agendas.
اغتصبوا قتلوا سرقوا شالوا حق الناس وما عارف يا اخي سلام عليك ده حقنا يا اخوي شلنا كويس معك ده حقنا شلنا تمام واغتصب ما اغتصب انت مش اغتصب لك اخت ولا اغتصب لك بيت كما تدين تدان البلد دي بلدنا وده حقنا وشلناه ودايرنا احنا في الميدان نكسح ونمسح نركب اباهلك ذات تعالنا في الميدان وشوف الحاصل شنو داير مننا حاجه يجينا في الميدان يا اخي ميدان شكرا.
A city in Sudan is under siege and being starved. And now there are fears of ethnic cleansing. El-Fasher is living through one of the longest sieges in modern warfare. Almost no aid has entered since April 2024. And now there are fears that a militia that's accused of war crimes could be preparing to invade the city.
كل الفاشر من جميع الاتجاهات دي دعم السري محاصرة. فبالتالي أصبح إنه المواد الغذائية تدخل للفاشر مستحيلة جدا. حصل جوع.
The Rapid Support Forces and the Sudanese Armed Forces have been battling for control of the country for over 2 years. The RSF controls most of the Darfur region, except for the regional capital of El-Fasher. And so the RSF has surrounded the city of El-Fasher since April 2024, preventing almost anyone or anything going in or out. People in El-Fasher have been forced to eat grass as the RSF bombards the city. In April 2025, the RSF attacked Sudan's largest refugee camp, Zamzam, just outside El-Fasher, killing an estimated 1,500 people. The International Criminal Court said there were reasonable grounds to believe that crimes against humanity were taking place in Darfur. More than 400,000 survivors of that attack fled the camp, many of them to El-Fasher. Now they're living in fear of the RSF coming after them again.
الدعم السري غير مجرى الحرب أصبح إنه يستهدف المدنيين البنى التحتية بتاعت المدينة المدارس المساجد الأسواق حتى الأماكن اللي فيها نازحين.
The UN, US and NGOs have accused the United Arab Emirates of arming the RSF. The UAE strongly denies the claims. But in September 2025, The Guardian published details of leaked reports that showed that the US and UN had pleaded with the UAE to let aid into El-Fasher. But those talks effectively collapsed with no resolution. Hundreds of children are believed to have died after those talks ended. El-Fasher is now under siege, starved, and being bombed relentlessly with no end in sight.
يعني انت مفتكر انه انا بعد ده حارب بولدي اجيب له الحلاوه والشوكولاته واقول له كل وامسح واقول له والله يا اخي خلاص خليه انا تعبان الولد والله حارب بيه تربيه رجال اقسم بالله حخليه راجل وهدخل الكره في قلبه وهعده عشان ينتقم لاخته وعشان ينتقم لبلده. اول عدو ينتقم منه هو الامارات، طال الزمن او قصر. انا يا الامارات يا ابن زايد لن يهدأ لي بال الا وان انتقم منك وانتقم من كل من وقف الى جانبك وساعدك في تدمير بلد غلى ما يمكن أن يحصل له الغدر والخيانة من جانبك يا خسيس يا من لا تشبه الرجال. والله أنت أغزر إنسان عرفته البشرية، أغزر إنسان، لأنك هذا السودان معون. أطعمناك وغفنا إلى جانبك، أطعمناك وغفنا إلى جانبك، بنينا دورك، أنشأنا لك المدن والطرق وعلمنا أبنائك وعلمناك أنت ذاتك، أنت نفسك. الآن تغدر بالسودانيين وتفجر في الخصومة، تعادي السودان. على ماذا تعادينا؟ ماذا فعلنا لك؟ ما الذي بيننا وبينكم حتى تكون هذه عداوتكم لنا؟ نحن بتنا أعداءكم بين ليلة وعشية. ماذا فعلنا لكم لنلغى هذه العداوة وهذا البغض وهذا الكره؟ نحن لن نحمل أحدا في الدنيا ما حصل لنا خلافكم. كل من جيشتمونهم ليهدموا بلادنا وليعوسوا فيها هذا الخراب، نقول أننا سنرد الصاع صاعين، سننتقم يا ابن زايد. وهذه رسالة لأبناء السودان.
I have a message to the Kenyan people. You are at risk. Your country is at risk. You don't know what's coming, but what is coming to your country is destruction and war. And let me explain. Your President Ruto is under huge pressure by the United Arab Emirates. I'm from Sudan. I can tell you, we have never expected that our country will be in such a destructive war. But the reality is we've been in the unexpected high level of destruction caused by the United Arab Emirates for the last 2 years. And we've never thought that the UAE will ever do that to us until it became a reality. We've seen the actions of the UAE in Yemen. It destructed the whole country. We've seen the UAE actions in Sudan, in Libya, and in other countries. The UAE is not what you think it is. UAE is not what is Dubai looks like. Explaining to you in more details, Mr. Ruto brought the RSF, the genocidal group. Hang on. I'm not saying that the RSF genocidal because I just don't like them. You can go back and search why Mr. Hemeti is in the list, the blacklist of America, and that he is now confirmed and wanted for mass destructions, targeted killings, and ethnic cleansing. Yes, you've heard me right. He thinks he's an Arab, and he thinks that he is superior to the Africans of western side of Sudan. So he is killing African descent and targeting them. And it's unfortunate that Mr. Ruto supports all that, and he provided a platform for such a genocidal group. Now, he didn't do that because he really wanted it. He's under pressure. And he's under pressure because his hands are actually dirty. He was part of gold smuggling deals. Yes, you've heard me right. And I didn't say that myself. It's actually your previous vice president and your previous foreign minister himself went out on plain TV and explained that Mr. Ruto is engaged into gold smuggling operations that are illegal.
I want to say this. for the deaths occurring in the Sudan. The real commander of RSF is not Hemeti, it's William Ruto, because for a movement to succeed, it needs money. The money from gold is being cleaned through Kenya to buy arms, to go and kill women and children.
They smuggle gold from Sudan, they bring it to Kenya, and then they resell it to the world as a Kenyan-based gold or mined gold. Now, what will happen is that Ruto is under pressure to legitimize this genocidal group, and soon the UAE will start interfering into your politicians, buying them one after the other, with millions of dirty money. Just like Mr. Ruto, which no doubt his actions, the erratic, irrational actions of him in the last few weeks are just based on the UAE dirhams that put him under huge pressure, and because of the dirty deals he was involved in, and he doesn't want it to go out on the surface. So he's pushed to accept and legitimize the RSF group. Now let me tell you what that means for you and for every regular Kenyan and to the Kenyan government. RSF destroyed Libya, Chad, and Chad now is also not a sovereign country anymore. It's part of UAE. The Chadian president is just a UAE puppet, and the same will be for Mr. Ruto. Central Africa is almost gone as a country. Sudan is fighting back this project and making sure that we maintain the sovereignty of our country. Now, you need to act immediately. It's meant in few hours that the RSF group meant to hold another meeting in one of your famous halls in Nairobi to disgrace the history of Kenya, to disgrace the politicians and the whole meaning of being a free sovereign country. And they will hold another meeting in your Nairobi, in your loved Nairobi, and they will announce a parallel government. That is an act of war. That is illegal. That is diplomatically called a diplomatic crisis. And Mr. Ruto is pushed to do that. Now, this might be too bad for the Sudanese people, but for you, basically, regular Kenyans, you might think this is not related to you guys, and it's out and off your shores. No, you got to be worried. UAE likes your gold, likes your country, likes the mining sector in your country, because UAE thinks they are the superhero of mining in the world now. And soon, if you don't act today, if you don't act pretty much in few hours, UAE will take over your country. And if you resist, you are going to face a similar war, just like the Libyan people did, just as Sudanese people are doing now, and just like the Yemeni people and Central Africa and many others. UAE has interfered in the Horn of Africa, caused a complete chaos, and it's just not stopping. They don't understand, they don't stop, nothing will stop them. The killing, the destruction, the millions of displacement, the largest crisis in the world didn't stop them. Kenyans' lives means nothing to UAE. Sudanese life meant nothing and means nothing to the UAE, and many other lives, innocent lives, that has been taken. Make sure you act now to make sure that Kenya will not be another Congo, and make sure Kenya will not be another Sudan, and do not have another war. Act now. Say no to Mr. Ruto. Kick the genocidal RSF group out of your peaceful country. Kick them out now. If you don't act now, you will see the destruction that will unfold onwards. You also want to do some investigations behind the dirty deals Mr. Ruto is involved in terms of gold smuggling, and also the dirty arms deals that he's also involved in. You will know a lot, guys, about it. I hope that this will be a wake-up call to the Kenyan people, and I hope that we will see Nairobi as flourished and as developed as we always hoped and looked forward. We've always had a beautiful brotherhood with Kenyans, and we will maintain that. We will fight the UAE project in hijacking and taking over our countries, taking over our wealth for its own sake. It's just selfish and greedy enough. You will see it soon. Please, act now. Talk to your politicians. Push them to act. Go on the streets. It's now or never again. Thank you, guys.
Over the space of 2 months, over 100,000, let me repeat, 100,000 children starved to death in Sudan over the space of 2 months. And it's not lost on me that we hear barely a peep. It's so hard to get updates on what's happening in Sudan from reliable sources, because African suffering, African starvation, African pain is just seen as the norm. 24 million people are suffering from food insecurity in Sudan. Women are being raped to the point where they're just unaliving themselves rather than be humiliated and attacked in the ways that they have been. Tens of thousands of people have been unalived by the RSF, and over 12 million people have been displaced more than once. I saw one lady saying there is nothing left for us but death. Now imagine, like,
some of you are wondering, why as a person from Gaza am I silent about our brothers and sisters and what's happening in Sudan? And I'd like to remind you that my God-conscious based activism is not limited to what you hear from me on social media. But I had to educate myself properly on the matter and consult with my Sudanese brethren that I trust, first and foremost. Because when you speak about blood, you better know whose hands are in it. This isn't just Sudan fighting Sudan. It's a nation bled by interests, mercenaries, and gold, with foreign powers turning genocide into a business. Yes, I'm talking about the UAE, the United, let me spell it out, the United Arab Emirates. Billions in gold pumped through Dubai, weapons flowing to the RSF, the militia burning villages, killing children, and then having the audacity to hide behind humanitarian aid. And yes, Canada is complicit as well. Canadian-made Spartan street armored vehicles built for war end up in the hands of the very Janjaweed militias executing massacres. My Sudanese brothers and sisters, it isn't your pain for Sudan and my pain for Gaza. It's our pain as an ummah, betrayed by those who sit in the majalis of Iblis. We see you and we hear you, and we're here for you. The world may turn its cameras away, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sees every tear, every grave, every child whose name was never written. And now that I've learned, I will speak. And by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Jalla Jalalu, when I do, it will not just echo, it will shake the very thrones of batil.